Dragon Universe can be extremely confusing for newer returning players, especially now with its current changes. There are a lot of really amazing guides on the official Discord servers, but with so much stuff in the game, it's difficult to really make sense of it and really where to start as a complete beginner. Now, by no means am I the best that DU has to offer when it comes to teaching, but I've been here long enough to at least provide a starting point for people who are having trouble utilizing the mechanics of the game to their advantage. To start, for anyone who hasn't played very much, or even yet, this game is more similar to a survival game than it is your typical anime game. Not that you're going to be micromanaging your hunger and thirst, but I do want to prepare you for the mindset you'll need going into this game. This isn't the most complex game in the world, but there are a ton of options in this game, so you can play any way you want to, and that's where it gets really confusing. The gameplay revolves mostly around combat, but in order to get the edge in battle, you need the edge in support as well. Think of it like one giant anime resource war. And if you haven't played it yet, you should check it out. It's one of the best Dragon Ball inspired games I've ever played. Alright, enough yapping, let's get into it. Character creation is the most important aspect to your enjoyment of any given wipe. Once you're able to put together a competent build, you'll be set up to try out any of the race possibilities here. But not all races are built equally, don't take that out of context, so choose carefully when starting out. For example, the Yasai. With their dramatic transformations and obvious beginner appeal, the Yasai are a perfect beginner's trap. With fairly limited stats and mediocre mid to late wipe BP or battle power, they can prove difficult to play, plus the time investment necessary to achieve their transformations early enough to be special can be a significant negative for a playthrough. For your first characters, I personally recommend a human, alien, or a Namekian. Their BP will keep up throughout the wipe, though do keep in mind that Alien can have crippling drawbacks if you're not careful about the build, but always remember you don't have to be married to these characters, it's not hard to catch up on a remake, and you could always redo your build with technology later on. For the sake of the guide, we'll be following a human. It'll ask us for focus, my best playstyle is key, so we'll choose that, and it's asking us what playstyle basically we intend to choose so it can give us an appropriate buff since that is the human racial trait on making our character. Now we have finally arrived at the build sheet, so let's break each stat down. Energy is what controls our maximum energy cap. It's very important to put points in this with any build, but your overall build will determine how high this needs to be. Strength is what determines how hard a physical-based attack will hit. Very self-explanatory. Durability controls how much damage we take from a physical-based attack. Also very self-explanatory. Speed is our movement speed, also important to have in almost every single build. Once again, how high determined by your overall build. Force controls how much damage we do with energy-based attacks, and resistance controls how much damage we take from energy attacks. Accuracy controls how likely it is to hit an opponent, and reflex is the opposite, acting as our dodge and deflect chance. Regeneration and recovery control how fast we regain health for regen, and how fast we regain energy for recovery. Finally, anger determines how much of a BP boost we will receive from our anger state. If you happen to play a special race, keep in mind that your race may not actually have an anger state to boost off of. Humans start with 66 stat points and are definitely capable of keeping up throughout the wipe.